Alrighty, wanted to do a little update. It's been a while since I've put anything posted on the my YouTube channel, so just wanted to say probably before Christmas since I've done anything. But anyway, got quite a lot of new things going on. Got some new locomotives. They're not brand new, but they're new to me. That right there is a old Mantua. I think it's around a 90s model. It's got dual motors. I'm not sorry, dual motors, but dual drive. Uh, just put whisker couplers on it. And, oh gosh, I got, there's a little 060 from Bachmann there. There's an 060, another Bachmann Santa Fe. And, I got some new track, and it's kind of crazy, but these are from like oh gosh, probably in the 60s. It's a true scale, what was called the true switch, which is a closing frog turnout. If you can see how they work, like the true scale switches that are mounted on the wood. But this came later, I believe, in the plastic line, and I think somewhere down the road somebody else bought it, and it was sold for a while. Anyway, put some of these on there. I bought a lot of these and went through them and cleaned them up. I know they're brass, which is a sin. Nobody uses brass anymore, but brass is actually a better conductor than nickel silver. And as long as you keep it clean, it works just fine. And got one there. I've got one over here going toward the mine. It's another true scale. Let me get this engine out of the way here. I can show that one to you. It's a grindy little Bachmann, but it runs pretty good once I cleaned it up. Had a bunch of carpet hair all up in the gears and everything. Probably an 80s model. Anyway, runs pretty good, but here's another true scale closing frog switch. Anyway, going to put some ground throws on these at some point, but pretty darn smooth if you get them. And I'm going to do an article, but I want to do a video on these at some point and show y'all how how I got these to work better after all these years. And then I've got over here something that I always wanted as a kid. This was called a Tyco-Matic switch. It's also got a closing frog, different designed a little bit, but it works on the same pivoting point principle. Now when these were new, of course this is your switch machine, and you can throw it manually. Your wires go in here, your 3-color wires. This was for a semaphore that came up and would turn when you switch the switch. Now the ones I found so far didn't have that, and I bought several of these and I've been going through them. These are a little more trickier to do because I've got contacts all built in here, kind of like a tortoise switch machine, switch machine. It's got different contacts that power these. These keep power all the time, like the standard Atlas switch. And the true scales, though, they're selective control. In other words, you whichever way the points are thrown, that's the way the power is getting. In other words, this route right here is getting power. This one's not. Can't really bypass that in any way without adding some other kind of contacts to it. I got a couple of more laying here. These are ready to go. Just haven't got a place for them yet. I just like closing frog turnouts. I like these Picos I've got. They're pretty smooth, especially this. And I also added this switch in here. This is going to branch off and go into going to be a turntable sitting right here at some point. And eventually this switch here, which goes off toward my bench here with all my junk, there'll be a staging yard back underneath this shelf. And then also back up under the shelf here is going to be a switch going back. You'll be able to leave and go either direction you want to go. Anyway, that's some of the things that are going on. Got a couple of kits coming for the old West Town I'm going to build. This old Bantua here runs pretty darn smooth. It's a little noisy, but man, it's smooth. I don't know how easy it'd be to change to DCC, but doesn't seem to have too many problems. Of course, I always go through them and clean them up and clean the wheels, and I've added whisker couplers to it, and seems to go through without a problem. Anyway, I'll go back and do some more videos on some of the equipment I got. That little Bachmann there ran like crap when I got it. Like I said, it had oh god, all kinds of carpet hair and fuzz and junk all up in the wheels and gears and everything. I couldn't believe it ran at all once I pulled out all that stuff. And then I got this little got a little UP one here. This is a later model one. Runs really quiet, really smooth. It's got a little bit of a squeak to it that I haven't quite found yet, but I'm working on that. So anyway, I've had a lot of new stuff come since Christmas, and it was a great Christmas and New Year, and I hope everybody else's was too. And just about got the track the way I want it as far as this at this point. And I'm going to start getting these mountains and stuff done back here in this corner. I've added some feeder wires to the layout here, back here at the back, and then of course right here. Anyway, that's where it's at so far. Just wanted to give a little update on what's going on. If you got any comments, you can leave comments, or any suggestions or ideas. Anything, questions about these old Tyco switches, I could probably answer for you maybe. Those are just cool. When I was a kid, me and my dad built a little 4x8 foot layout, and we were going to put these on here. But the guy at the hobby shop said, oh, you know, they never made those. So apparently they were made from like 1971 to 1974. And this was about 76 when me and him went to build the layout. So I guess maybe whatever was would have been used, sold, was gone, so they thought maybe they'd never been made. I don't know. Of course, Tyco changed their design on their switches after that. Anyway, I guess that's all for now. Just want to give a little update, and we'll be back.